when you realize the 90s were 34 years ago. 90s kid, only 90s kids will remember this thing. 2000s kid, hey I remember that thing. 90s kid, liar. 90s me waiting for commercials to end. 2022 me waiting for seconds to skip YouTube ad. Hi adults born in 1999 see adults born in 2000. Gamers in the 80s or 90s. I just beated 32 games in a week without cheats, and this Tomb Raider game looks cool. Gamers in 2021. We need easy mode in Dark Souls. Internet chat in the 90s. Unnecessary nudity. Good 80s or 90s anime. How we used to take selfies back in the 90s. I have several questions. Yes, dancing. I'd like to see you dance. Okay, but it's $50 extra. Nobody. 90s children's cartoons. Dad's trophy. When you're happy, you enjoy the music. When you're sad, you understand the lyrics. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world wrapped in plastic. It's fantastic. Chemistry. Diamond is the hardest substance on earth. Am I a joke to you? 90s Taco Bell. 99 cents. Yeah, that makes sense. 2000s Taco Bell. $1.06. Yeah, I can see that. 2020's Taco Bell. $2.68. And with less beef too. What the duck? Stuff you could get away with saying on a kids show in the 90s. That was a great episode of Rugrats. I kinda want to die, but Nickelodeon has me on Seaside Watch. Anyway, Doug is on next. Stay tuned. 90s kids. Only 90s kids can relate. 2000s kid. I can also relate. 90s kids. You what? People born in 1999. People born from 2000 to 2003 and grew up with the exact same things. Only 90s kids will remember. McDonald's in the 90s. McDonald's today. 80s or 90s kids. 2010s kids. 2020s kids. People in the 90s. Wow, the game looks so realistic. The game. No one. Old TVs at 3 AM. Crack. 90s video game cover versus actual graphics. You know you're a 90s kid when your vaccinations were mandatory and no one in your class got measles. He has a point. Modern Reese's recipe. 90s Reese's recipe. 90s kids watching Brendan Fraser win an Oscar. You did it, you crazy son of a butch, you did it. Born in 2000. Born in 1999. He's just a kid, no older than my son. I was born in the 90s. I was born in the late 1900s. You qualify for veterans discount if you remember this. Beginning of every 90s hip hop music video. Rappers in music videos in the 90s. 1998. Just imagine how far we'll be in 20 years. 2018. Behold, the snickle. Laser pointer invented. Cats in the 90s. Rappers in the 90s be like. VHS roulette, a very dangerous game to play. Is it fun or a birthday party? Nickelodeon in the 90s. Nickelodeon in the 2000s. Nickelodeon now. Gaming in the 90s was a lot different. 90s kids will understand the anxiety of being behind this guy. 80 or 90s singers who failed to make a hit in their times. Netflix shows 40 years later. Cartoon animators only had one design for bulk characters in 90s. Fashion in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Multiple pencil grips exists. 90s elementary school teachers. Anjury. People talk about Wendy's roasting people online like they ain't never seen one of this man's commercials from the 90s to the 2000s. Weatherman. Prepare for the 90s. Me. 90s kid. Only 90s kids will remember this thing. 2000s kid. Hey I remember that thing. 90s kid. Actually, quantum mechanics forbids this. When I try to show a 90s movie to my Gen Z girlfriend. Too old. Me in the 90s getting ready to instant message your girl. Hey, you can't just waste another day, depressed and passionless. Me. Not to worry, I have a permit. Born in the 90s. You remember the good old 90s? Kid born in 1999. Yeah bro, the 90s were lit. When you overhear some teens referring to 90s music as classics and oldies, would it be immoral to raise a baby to believe they're growing up in the 90s by only exposing them to 90s media and telling them the year is 1998, and then one day, when they're a bit older, just expose them to present day media and convince them they were asleep for a long time but didn't age? Ah, I see. You're a man of culture as well. Moms in the 90s watching you open up Christmas presents. Kids these days will never know the struggle. Me and the boys in the mid-90s waiting for my parents to fall asleep so we could try to see a tighty through the static on channel 983. 90s rap videos during the second verse. X-Men, my favorite 90s cartoon. For the plot of course. Kids these days will never know the hardships of each week having to overcook a fresh hard-boiled egg yolk for the computer mouse. Someone please explain this? 90s kids. Only 90s kids can relate. 2000s kids. I can also relate. 90s kids. Car companies in the 80s or 90s. I lied about the car's performance. It can go even faster. Car companies now. Your heated seats subscription has expired. Let me get this straight. You actually think the original 90s live action Ninja Turtles movie still holds up? I do, and I'm tired of pretending it doesn't. Female teachers now. Female teachers in the 90s. 90s kids watching websites load. If you were born in the 90s, then that means your childhood is dead. Have fun paying bills and staying employed. As a 90s kid, I should know the music of my people better, but I just don't. Fine brothers. Wait, when were you born? December 10th, 1999. People in the 90s. Wish there was a way to skip these commercials. People now. Half hour of 1996 TV commercials. 90s commercial compilation number 11. I want to start using more 90s teen movie insults. Cancel my subscription. I'm over your issues. 90s gamers. Wow. The game is working. So cool. Gamers now. Why the FPS dropped from 167 to 165. We do not have Wi-Fi. Talk to each other. Pretend it's 1995. Former Yugoslavians. Nothing made you happier than seeing this when walking into a classroom as a kid. My mom who picked up the other line listening to it all. Me telling her what I'm going to do to her tonight. My girlfriend on the phone. 90s moms, hold it up, honey, so everyone can see what you got. McDonald's toy in the 90s. McDonald's toy now. Moving the TV to another room in the 90s. If you remember this little guy, your childhood was probably really cool. The 90s. The early 2000s. The perfect childhood for a generation. Me, I'm a 90s kid. No, you are a 30-year-old man. When you faxed her a nutpic and calling to see what's up. Nobody. Superheroes in the 90s. I don't want to freak you out, but that honeycomb mascot from the 90s is in the audience. The past. The future. When you overheard some teenagers referring to 90s music as classics and oldies. Whatever, man. 2000s kids. Could you not exclaim that you're far superior than us? 90s kids. For 5 minutes. Today's kids will never know how to play Minesweeper, because neither did we. 1980s and 90s. This one sparks joy. 2010s and 20s. This one does not spark joy. 90s battery with a built-in charge tester. Invest. How to get kicked out of the computer lab. 90s edition. Me realizing that kids talking about the 90s today is the same as kids in the 90s talking about the 60s. Me downloading a song on Napster with dial-up internet. Me when it finally finishes. Starting the 90s Berserk TV show on YouTube. Finishing it. When someone explains to you how the gun works in that old Nintendo Duck Hunt game you played in the 90s. My god, I get it. Staying up until 4 AM watching YouTube videos on rivalries of 90s rappers. Me who in 42 years has never liked any hip hop. Going to bed at a reasonable time. Me getting consistent 80s and 90s on tests without study. My friends still calling me stupid because I have hearing problems. When a child tries to explain something about Pokemon, do not cite the deep magic to me which I was there when it was written. Cartoons in the 80s and 90s. Cartoons after 2010. No one. David Plummer at Microsoft in the early 90s developing 3D pinball for Windows. I'm going to create a video game that is absolutely flawless. Rappers in the 90s. This mother ducker just dissed me on his track. I'm going to put a bullet on his head. Rappers nowadays. I'm going to fight this nigga on Twitter watch. When people judge me for being a Backstreet Boys fan. Oh, excuse me for being alive in the 90s and having two ears connected to a heart. Me hearing my favorite late 90s early 2000s music on the classic radio station. Jurassic Park, but the dinosaurs are from the 90s TV show Dinosaurs. What to watch at your grandparents' house starter pack. Not sure if rock from 90s or if another Samoan from Lane North Shore today. Cartridge. 90s kids. I'll try blowing. That's a good trick. Were the 80s shoulder pads for men equivalent to the 90s push-up bars for women? Me and the boys when the teacher rolls out CRT TV and VHS player at the beginning of class. 4-year-old me at the McDonald's play area waiting for mommy to turn around and look at me. When you change it to classic rock expecting Zeppelin but get Weezer. Console wars in the 90s. Nintendo. Sega. Console wars now. PlayStation. Nice console, bro. Pretty sweet exclusives too. Xbox. Hey, thanks man. Ditto. Gonna tell my kids this was James Hetfield during the 90s. When Taco Bell was actually really good. Saturday morning cartoons then versus now. Mothers in 90s, when their kid tells them that it has rights. I created you, and I will be your end. People born in 1999. You guys always act like you're better than me. People born in 1990 to 1998. Teacher, trying to teach me stuff. 9 years old me. The I grew up with no internet starter pack. My younger sister, when I fly over the whole level in Mario. That 70s show. This one sparks joy. That 90s show. This one does not spark joy. Users in the 90s. I will try every single button of this remote control. Users now. This app doesn't read my mind. Go back to TikTok. Moving the TV to the other room. In the 90s. 90s moms. Hold it up, honey, so everyone can see what you got. Me, I'm a 90s kid. No, you're a 30-year-old man. No, don't say that. My grandma in 1994. Oh, you look so handsome in your school photos. My school photos. People born late 80s to 1995 with clear memories of the 90s. 90s nostalgia. Right, girls born 1996 to 99 constantly saying how much they miss the decade. Hey 90s kids, what the hell is sun tea, and why did all our parents make us drink it? Americans going on about how the 90s was the best decade ever. XU Goats loves. Cupid 19. 80s and 90s born people who used to drink water from the garden hose. Texas. Bans legal abortions. Doctors with vans. Backstreet's back, alright. 90s kid. Only 90s kids will remember this thing. 2000s kid. Hey, I remember that thing. 90s kid. 11-year-old me, using the solar-powered calculator for the first time. The power of the sun in the palm of my hands. Texting wasn't always easy. In my day, you had to work for it. You had to want it. You need an S. You better click that 7 button 4 times. Remember when everyone used to get in trouble for doing this? Only 90s kids will remember. Only 90s kids will ever remember. 90s kids remember everything. They remember the birth of the universe. They remember humanity's greatest downfalls. They remember things that have not happened, things that might never happen. They can see the delta of everything. All of these vivid memories will haunt them forever. Will the 90s kids ever be able to forget? Where 90s and early 2000s kids grew up. 90s tech. Hid me till I work daddy. Today's tech. Update broke me. What people think the 90s looked like. What they actually looked like. Not to sound old, but hearing that Blue's Clues now uses email for mail time and a smartphone instead of a handy dandy notebook almost broke me. Land Before Time sequels. Wah-ra-ra-ra. We are being chased by oviraptors with bad tempers. Wah-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra. We all nearly died in quicksand, and our parents separated us. The Land Before Time movie. I'm sorry I led your friends into that volcanic tar pit where they nearly drowned to death and burnt to a crisp. Can I help kill the T-Rex? Yes. I'm a 90s kid. No, you're a 30-year-old man. Don't say that. People born in 1993. 30. Nobody. Music videos in the 90s. Late 80s and 90s rappers music videos. Rappers now. Cartoons in the 90s. Cartoons in the 2000s. Cartoons now. A rare picture of an 8-bit cat from the 90s. Kids in the 90s. Mom, I'm home. I scored 3 home runs. Then the ball went into a neighbor's yard. But we got it back. We rang and ran 12 doorbells. I scraped my knee falling off my bike, but washed it with water from a hose that I also drank out of. Then we found a dead rat. Okay. Gonna go watch Power Rangers. Kids today. Mommy, my iPad's battery ran out. I'm depressed. Me at gym hearing teenagers playing songs from the 90s and it's not a cringe TikTok remix. My dad in a random photo from the 90s. My dad now. Sometimes, I want Pizza Hut, but not 2020 Pizza Hut. I mean I want 1993 Pizza Hut. Getting out of your car in the 90s was like. Well, with all this 90s nostalgia, all that's missing is a right Bronco and OJ Simpson. Oh. Foo Fighters was better when they were called Nirvana. Born in 1999. You never saw the 90s. Born in 2000. I will be 69 years old in the year 2069. I will be 69 years old in the year 420. Nobody, absolutely no one. Not a single soul on this earth. That one guy from school who thought Power Rangers were realistic and won't be one when grown up. I'm a scat man. Like that old 90s song? Like that song, right? When you don't understand the only 90s kids will understand me. I'm sorry, is this some sort of boomer joke that I'm too young to understand? Gamers in the 90s, wow, everything in this game looks so real. The game. How it started. How it's going. Slex Pistol star John Lydon bitten by flea on his pens after befriending squirrels. In my day, we had www.rotten.com. Not this week's tentacle pun. I'm sure granny way back in the 90s. Bulkbuster. That one dimly light room. 12-year-old me in 1994. Spooling your diesel next to a 90s shutbox. 90s shutbox spools back and spits flames. Bringing my Game Boy for the road trip. Finding out I'm in charge of reading the map quest. PlayStation 1 hardware developers explaining their advanced 3D polygon graphics. PlayStation 1 games. Good modern music. 90s kids. 1999 kids, when they came home, and their Tamagotchi was dead. We all know who's walking and chilling there now, RIP legend. Being 30 years old in the 90s. Be 30 in 2024. Before they are gone, let's pay tribute to the best games in cool math games. When you fell asleep on the backseat as a child in your parents' car after a long trip, and now they have to carry you back to your room. When you're watching the last episode of a TV show you love, and it starts playing slow version of main theme one last time. How am I supposed to live? How old are you? Me. You aren't always gonna have a calculator in your pocket. 90's teachers. Me. 90's JDM legend. My empty wallet. Me. 90's JDM legend. Lenny Kravitz releasing the song Fly Away. Every car and airline TV commercial producer in the late 90's or early 2000s. Science education in the 80's. Science education in the 90's. Science education in video games. 2019. 80's mother duckers. 90's mother duckers. It's our boy. I'm the queen of Halloween. Your reign is almost over, and soon it will be this queen's time to shine. 90's kids remember the exact channel. When she wipes back to front and hits you with the old. I'm a child of the 90's. No, you are a 30-year-old man. Don't say that. Clarence Thomas headlines sexual harassment in the 90's. That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing, right? Downloading a 3.5 megabytes MP3 file as 90's kid be like, hey little man, how's it going? Yay. POV, your hipster friend just found out you haven't watched some shitty obscure movie from the 90's. If you wanna see how fast fashion changed in the 90's, just watch the entire series of Friends.